seconds. Just stream this in the group.
Should have put my makeup on for this.
You should have put your makeup on.
What are you saying?
You're
dissing me already, Adam.
Dissing you. Classic cannot be shared at this time. Story of my life. Technology. All right, we'll stream it like this. Right. Let me leave that. Awesome. I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, all good.
Cool. So today, guys, I've got Leon Haynes. Leon and myself have a bit of a backstory. He used to teach me how to sing badly a couple of years ago, but he's worked in tribute bands. He's always been around the circuit. He's trained some awesome people. And Leon reached out to me the other day and just asked me for some advice on his existing website, what he's launching. And I thought it would be really helpful for you guys to see sort of the things, some of the considerations which I do when I look at websites from a marketing perspective, from a conversion perspective. So, Leon, introduce yourself. What do you do?
Hello. I'm a singing teacher, first and foremost. Help all sorts from beginners, kids, right up to professionals, and also the OAPs has started to come my way.
The OAPs, really?
Yeah, some charm going on with the ladies. Yeah.
So what's the new the new venture?
Carry on. So while COVID-19 hit us hard, my workers literally took a battering. So everything's had to go online because I'm obviously kept in small studios with people can't self-distance properly.
Mm-hmm.
So after last year, my father passed away. I've done some videos and put a whole kind of funeral service together digitally.
Yeah. So sorry to hear about that, mate.
That's all right. Don't worry. It's happened.
Not much you can do, is
It's all right. I've moved on. I'm okay. But yeah, we did it all digitally because none of the family felt we could stand up and give a good showing of ourselves doing the readings and the poems and stuff like that. And also had to do a video tribute to show my dad's life, memories, etc. So I did all that. Spent a lot of time on it, obviously, because it was personal. And then, when I did it, I didn't really think much of it other than to do it for my dad. But the funeral home asked about it and said it was one of the best things they'd seen.
Wow.
Wanted to know more. Can I do it for other people? And then the friends, family, and all that. Quite a few people that I wasn't, again, not expecting were just coming over and congratulating me on what I'd done with the digital side of stuff. And the fact that the funeral was able to flow and be so quick without people fluffing their lines, crying, all that kind of thing. So, after I kind of doubted my dad's death, it was always in the back of my mind to maybe look at it. And then thanks to COVID-19 and the calling from my father above, I thought, you know what, I've got a tiny bit of time when I'm not looking after my kid and teaching the people that have come online. And I've put together a tribute memory page.
Awesome.
Which I'm hoping people will be interested in to be able to, as they can't now go to funeral services. Might be something that can be shared online.
Is there anyone else doing this, or is this new?
A few of the funeral homes, from what I've checked, I haven't been super efficient at checking how common this is. I've done brief searches around. A lot of it is in-house with the bigger funeral services, but the local ones that are smaller, they don't seem to offer it. And if they do, it's outsourced to video production teams that do it for a hefty price. And that was kind of why I did my dad's. We were told £300 just for a basic, chuck them the images and they'll throw them together.
Yeah.
Plus another £50 to upload it and admin. And I was just like, do you know what? I can do that.
What would you charge then? Just bought it because I have no idea. What would it charge?
I've got slightly different packages, but hold on, let me just grab them up so I don't tell them wrong. I mean, this is all going because I haven't started this full time. This is all very up in the air kind of trial, but like a gold package, which introduces one video tribute and 3 audio readings or recordings for the service. About £150. So
Oh, wow.
quite cheap compared to what is out there just to get going. And then you
So do they choose the songs, then you sing them, do they? Or is it?
It depends. So what I would tend to try and do is obviously stay away from music that has massive copyright issues and things like that. But again, there is services that, I mean, the extra fees can be paid to use those songs.
Yeah.
One in my dad's service was a Josh Groban Raise Me Up, people might know.
Yeah.
And what we did over the intro was put all the readings over it.
Oh, wow.
A piece reading from all my brothers and sister. And then it went into the song. And yeah, just you have to be careful of the copyright. But yeah, music can be created, which I tend to try and say to people, go that route, because then you're not going to have problems with copyright.
Yeah.
Or have to pay for it if you take the risk, etc., of not using it, which is not advised. But obviously some people might. But yeah, it's pretty much anything can be done. Audio, video, production. It's all something I use every day for the singers and the recordings and bands and all that. So
so you've obviously built your own site then. So what have you built that site on?
Yeah, so I used a site called Moonfruit, which I don't know if is respected or not amongst the web gang, which I can see your smirk.
The web crew.
It might
no. I didn't know it was still going, to be honest.
It got took over apparently, but I've not used it for so long. I didn't know, and when I come back to it, it's still Moonfruit. So
yeah, I was convinced they went out of business, but obviously not. So
from what I read on a forum, Yale took them on.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, no. And I think they were meant to merge, but then they've obviously left it as it was, I'm guessing. Stuck a new logo on it. It looks great.
Oh, really? So what we'll do, I'll share my screen now, and then we'll just go through it. And like I said, we'll dissect it a little bit. I'll give you some advice on sort of marketing wise, and we'll just have an open discussion about it. So I shall share my screen now.
Feel free to rip it, Adam. It's all right.
Don't worry, I will.
I've been locked down for 5 weeks.
No, it's not. It's just payback for how much you used to rip me for not being able to sing Killers songs correctly. So this is the site. I tell you what would be really good, actually. One of the things I noticed is a one-page site. If you want to take me through the site real quick, if you want to, and just while you've done certain things, obviously I know you've got your logo at the top.
Yeah.
The videos obviously here, which is a great selling point for you. Was this your dad, was it? Or
this was what we used for my dad, yeah.
So I watched that before, and if anyone's watching, I'd recommend checking out. It is, pretty heart-warming video. Then scrolling down, you've got obviously your About Us, Why Choose Farewell, with some information on. You've got obviously your COVID-19 here. Was there anything specific you were aiming for when you were doing this design?
As in what I'm asking you, or just what I'm aiming for as in to the public? Just
what you're aiming for for the public. Yeah. What's the like? I mean, is it like lead generation, or is it just information?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously not being able to get out and sell this physically to people, and not being able to see people. I mean, socially and getting those friends and networks and all that from work or personal, it's all got to go online. So the one thing that I've done a lot of work in the entertainment industry for helping with, I mean, I'm not a professional at it, but somehow managed to be roped into positions and jobs of helping with online marketing, web design, databases, all this sort of stuff, which had to be self-learned, a lot of it. So there's a lot of knowledge I know. I mean, like you guys that are trained in it and specialize in it every day, there's no way I could understand all of that sort of stuff. Google Analytics and stuff like that, I have I have a basic understanding, but no knowledge of. So when I'm looking at the website, I wanted to make it very simple, on page, because people, when they've sadly lost someone, they don't want to spend time reading. They don't want to spend time making themselves even sadder. And
of course.
I think that when I experienced it, it was very much, I was very angry, very sad. And so those emotions I tried to kind of keep in my mind when I built the website of what am I looking for? Well, the first thing I'd want is to see the example of something.
Yeah, of course.
The second is explaining a little bit more what else and how can I make my service for my
Yeah.
loved one better.
Yes.
And the idea is the biggest selling point that I kept hearing from everyone is that it didn't have to be done live. So there was, my sister lives in America and she was coming over for a funeral, but I couldn't record her with my equipment because I live nowhere near her. My family live in Bournemouth. I live in the Midlands. So every single one of them had to record themselves by themselves. They're all, bar my brother, not tech friendly. They're all tech phobes. But they were able to send me a phone recording, and the quality of the audio you can hear on the website a bit lower down. And it turned out all right with the effects and the compression and all the EQ and all that within the studio stuff. It was able to give a very simple example of the readings, the video, and just allow people to come on there in one page and go, bish, bash, bosh.
What you need.
That's for me. What's the price?
Get you.
Trying to keep it simplistic is the short answer to your question, Adam.
I think, yeah, and that, I think from looking at it, so if I look like I'm looking at the distance, I'm looking at the screen on the left hand side.
It's not your cross eyes.
No, I'm not cross-eyed. I think so. From one of the things, and we see this a lot, and I understand why you've put the logo sort of like the farewell so big, and I like in theory what you're trying to do with the obviously like the plank going up as well. But what I would we see it a lot, and we've tested a lot over the years, and I'd personally recommend not having such a big logo, and it's something which is sort of known quite a lot within the industry, and customers love doing it. But ultimately, if they've got to your site, they probably either know who you are from some form of advertising, or they're looking for, like you said, they're looking for the product, they're looking for the service, or they're looking for the solution to the problem they have. So the logo at the minute is taking up quite a lot of valuable real estate. So if I'm being completely honest as well, so the first screen, what you've done really well is you've brought the video onto it. So obviously video, audio, memory tributes, you do get what it is about. But I just think that the information could just be displayed in a bit more of like an elegant way, and just to help with conversions. So what I'd personally be doing, I'd be bringing the logo quite a bit smaller and putting it sort of in the top left-hand corner. I'd potentially be keeping the sort of the background, because I do quite like it. I think it's pretty nifty.
I'm glad you said that, because Moonfruit's been a right cow and I can't adjust it.
What, you can't adjust the logo?
No, it's a good job. I picked it because I liked it. I thought, oh, I like the color scheme, but I for some reason I've contacted them. I'm trying to get rid of it. I was trying to just see if I could change it, but yeah, I don't need to. But I'm glad you said keep it, because I'd have been right up the creek.
Yeah, I think that it's the farewell. I think could move over to the left hand side here. Do you want people to call you, or is it just an inquiry you're trying to put?
I mean, in a normal business world, yeah, I prefer the phone. But right now, with full-time childcare and working evenings, it's not easy to pick a phone up with a 2-year-old. So
that's fine. I mean, the reason why I ask is, again, because a lot of people say, the purpose of my site is to generate, like new leads or phone call inquiries. Yeah, often they have no phone number within the top of the sort of the navigation bar. So you don't have to have that. But what I would do, I think, sometimes it's about sort of directing people to sort of be as idiot proof as possible. So I'd be using this real estate here. I'd be moving the logo up to the top left-hand side. I'd be maybe bringing this navigation down so it's sort of in line with it on the right-hand side, just down a little bit. And then I'll be putting maybe like a call to action next to the contact. Maybe something like you've got there, get your free quote now. Or I think the get a quote thing would scare me a bit more. I think maybe what you should do is like book a calendar, like book a one-to-one 10-minute Zoom consultation, or book a consultation, like free consultation. And then what I would do, just for your management style and your overall process, so you're not having to struggle too much, if you use something like Calendly, you should be able to, I don't know Moonfruit, but you should be able to integrate that quite easy. So then you can go in, put your available time slots, which fit around obviously with the singing lessons. And then obviously people can go in, fill in some questions, and then book in a specific time within your calendar. And then what you can do is obviously send them, like I've done with this, or send them a Zoom link. You've got the information there from what they've filled in the Calendly form. So then when you come to it, you can just have a nice, brief 10-minute chat with them and see how they are. That's what I would do. I think for me, I'd be having, if someone had passed away in my family, I was thinking about this. I'd be like, well, what happens? What does it mean by a quote? What am I going to have to pay? How does it work? And I think if you could just jump on even like a 5-minute chat with them and explain it.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's much more friendly.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more friendly. One of the things I think potentially what you could do, so the human eye works very much from left to right. It's just obviously the way we read. And I think one of the...
Not if you're dyslexic.
Well, not if I'm dyslexic, yeah. Always put a spanner in
the majority of us, yeah.
Yeah, the majority, left to right. And so what I'd be personally doing, I'd be looking at maybe centering this a little bit. I think being on the right-hand side, for me anyway, I feel that there's all this space over here, and then my eyes are drawn over to the right, and it just, for me personally, it just feels like a little bit out of sort of balance. So what I'd be doing is, so now we've brought this logo up, we've got a bit more space here, I'd be centering this into this area here, which would actually look quite nice because this will be just going on in the background. So rather than it being something in your face, it's a bit more of like just, you know, it's just adding a little bit of value. It's just like a nice texture. But then I'd be coming up with some sort of a very key call to action or some sort of a key message. So like the memories that speak volumes, I think that is a much better, like when you consider like the farewell so huge, you've gave it such prominence, yet the memories that speak volumes, I think that's the key statement you want to be, you know, pushing, to be honest. That's what I would be pushing. And then with the video, my only thoughts with the video is obviously brilliant and it's an awesome tribute to your dad. I don't know whether, again, I know you've got a lot of stuff where you are. I don't know whether doing like a short intro before the video, just for the purpose of this to be like you on screen. I mean, you're very obviously confident and, you know, I'm sure you can be quite Sally and just be like, look, you know, this is, you know, I hadn't really thought about this before, but last year I lost my dad. I brought this in. This is it. Here's a short clip. You know, I think that would bring that personality to it rather than just being like, oh, someone's trying to make money out of people who have passed away. I think sharing your experience with it, I think could be quite well and would help you conversions based. With the get a quote, so I'd have to get a quote underneath it. But again, I would be a little bit more inclined to reword that. Like I said, like book a 5-minute chat and just something really, really hands off, which goes there. I think all of this is quite nice. I'd probably potentially give this a little bit more space. I think it's a little bit like, oh, where do I read first? For me, I'm like, what section am I reading? Or potentially even centering a line in this. Just giving it a little bit more space, I think would work quite well. I think layout wise, it's not too bad. I mean, if I was for me, I'm a big, like when I design sites, I like things being sort of like each thing having its own space. And I think my only concern with this is, like I said, where am I looking? Am I looking at this quote? Am I looking at the why choose farewell? Am I looking at COVID-19, which instantly grabs my my attention? Am I watching this video? So I think potentially just coming up with a nice, clear hierarchy would work well. But I don't think this is particularly bad. I don't think it's going to cause anything. And I think as long as you get the top section right, I think that people will stay on the site long enough. My concern is that if I came onto the site, I'm probably going to click off before I even get to the sort of the good stuff further on down the page. So you've normally got about 3 seconds. That I think Harvard University did a study. So you've got about 3 seconds to sort of grab someone's attention, and they must sort of trust the site, know that you're not a scumbag, and think that you're quite a reputable guy. Otherwise, they just bounce off and you never see them again. So I'd be sort of implementing
possible issues there. Possible issues.
Possible issues, yeah.
Scumbag.
The scumbag bit, anyway, yeah. So I mean that's that. I mean, one of the you could go another way. I mean, obviously, I don't know Moonfruit too well. You could go another way with the design. I just pulled so we've got, and I'm not trying to say it, one of our very entry level products is like a pay monthly website service. So we have like templates, but I think this is one we launched the other day. I know it's for cars, so it's not. And there was part of me thinking maybe something like this. I mean, obviously, like I said, like a clear call to action. You could have the video running in the background. I mean, the video could even be like a nice compilation of the different videos you've got, which I think could potentially be quite nice. But here was what I meant, like the logos are much smaller, sort of a clear navigation, and then like another call to action up here with like a vibrant color just to get people to get in contact. What I meant before about sort of breaking it down was like this. So like, here's how we can help. You know, we do this, we do this, we do this, or these are our unique samples.
Here, isn't it? You're guiding your user through the
process. Yeah, precisely that. Rather than like having for them to make their own choice about where they're looking. So that sometimes
you want that.
yeah, exactly. So like that's what I meant. You don't know whether to look at COVID-19. You don't know whether to look at this bit. You don't know whether to look at the tribute or the video. So I think sometimes what we like to do is like write instant call to action at the top, sell who you are in a very elegant way, then break it down a little bit more with, you know, key call to actions. Again, here, this is like easy as 1, 2, 3. I'd potentially, you could even consider something like that, because one of the things I know when my dad passed away years ago, one of the things which was for me, and I know my mom went through because I was a lot younger, is like, holy crap, like I've never had to deal with these things before. I've got like a million things on my table. What about finances? What about booking a funeral? How do you, what happens with this? What happens with that? So their time constraints are probably going to be quite minimal. So I think by doing it as like, look, it's as easy as a 5-minute consultation. We give you like a nice affordable quote, and then step 2, we get to work. You choose your songs. Bam, step 3, bam, it's done. Nice and easy. It's not going to take a lot of effort. It's not going to cost a lot of money, but it's going to be absolutely awesome. It's going to like, you know, be the awesome tribute to your family member, which you deserve. I think that would work really, really well.
Yeah, I like that.
So again, they've just got like a brief overview, a call to action at the bottom, and then here's like what our clients say. I think obviously at the minute it's a startup. But as soon as you can start getting some really, really great testimonials, so yeah, thank you, you've helped it. I'll be putting these. I think the issue is because these are, I tell you what I originally thought when I came here, and it's just my ignorance. I actually thought these were like quotes rather than testimonials. I know it's stupid, but I did. So maybe organizing these in like a nice, you know, here's what our customers say, or even if you could go a step further and get them to do like a 30-second video and have like, here's what our customers say, and then be like, look, you know, my sister passed away or whatever, and did that. I think it's going to be really, really good for you, and it also allows you then to put that on like YouTube or Facebook. And I know one of your questions is about Facebook ads, and that might be a really, really good way of you positioning your Facebook ads in a very non-salesy, slimy way. Would be to get sort of customer feedback on it and just be like, look, it was the best tribute, you know, for my dad or whatever I'd ever had. So I don't think that the site's terrible by any means. I like the call to action at the bottom. I think that works well, because ultimately at the end of the page, usually what will happen if you use a bit of software called Hotjar, it's really, you get a free trial with it. You can see how users interact with your site. So if you are going to start putting paid Facebook ads to it, install that first.
Sorry, what was that called, Dad?
Hotjar.
Hotjar.
Yeah, HOT jar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Install that, and then that will actually give you heat maps about what they do and where they're sort of hover and where they see. But what you'll usually find is people, like I said, they come here, see if there's a call to action, they either get in contact, or they're using this information just to back up that judgment should I get in contact. And then at the end, they're sort of, those boxes have been ticked. So it's good that you've got the contact form at the end. What you might want to do as well is consider implementing like a live chat. I think that could work quite well for you. So there's a live chat plugin called Chatport, and it's free, and it's pretty easy to integrate as well. You just drop a code on, so you should be able to integrate it. But it comes with like an app on your phone. So if they ever do start having a chat with you, you can literally, it will pop up on your phone like a WhatsApp message, and then you can just message back to them. And you can set like in hours, out of hours, but it just means, again, that if someone's got any quick questions about the service, they can obviously get in contact with you without having to book a calendar appointment or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So that would be my sort of, from a user experience point of view. I'd say this before, again, there's been a lot of studies, and people do buy from when they see faces, and it sounds odd, but it's true. So if you can bring some form of, like within the video, if you can choose the still, be in someone's face with maybe like a memorial or whatever, a tribute to, I think you'll probably get a higher click-through rate rather than it just seeing like the F or whatever. So I'd consider doing that.
So is that? Would you say that's better? Because I was thinking uniformity of the look, but you think go straight for the personal element.
Yeah, 100%. We deal with like different industries, and like we deal with like a storage unit company, and they always, and like plumbers and like painters and decorators and stuff like that. And the big issue people fall into is they'll put like a picture of a storage unit or a picture of a painted wall or whatever. But ultimately, what you're buying with the service is sort of a tribute, one, to your family member, but also yourselves as well, isn't it? So I'd be putting either a picture of the obviously the person who sadly passed away, or potentially a picture of like the family. You know, so it's like, well, because people can then you know, compare themselves to that, and there's that comparison. Yeah, precisely that. So it's the same, like I said, with the guy at the storage unit, and he was like, well, why? And I'm like, well, you know, put the storage unit in it, but everyone knows what a storage unit looks like. And, you know, so
there, isn't it? I suppose you're right. Yeah.
So put the young couple next to it who are, you know, potentially moving house, or put the old couple or whatever, something which is relatable, so people can go, oh, that's me, and you'll find that. So, but no, it's not. By no means it's terrible. I mean, my only concern with things like Moonfruit is the fact that, you know, I'm sure it is still in business, and I'm sure it's doing it, but I'm sure it's kind of quite a way down, like the limitations you've got. And
yeah, I would agree with that. I found things sometimes a bit tough to get in the right place and put certain elements in. So it's like the one thing that really annoys me. I've got OCD terrible, and just using a YouTube video as a snippet, it bugs me.
Yeah.
But then when I spoke to another friend of mine who's an internet buddy, he was like, "Oh, you want to do this? You want to do that?" And it literally, to me, I should have asked you first. But it's a solution I want. I'm not a big deal right now, but it's a solution of, I just don't want the YouTube logo on the video, and to me, it straight away would turn me off as a user. I know it sounds silly, but
I think the benefit you've got is you haven't built like a 20-page site. So if you did decide, and I'm not plugging in, so if you did want to pay monthly one, we can do it for you. But if you didn't want that, what you could potentially do is, I'd use WordPress. It's completely open source. You know, there's tons of developers around the world. And there's an awesome plugin called Elementor, which it would literally blow your mind compared to what you've been used to with this. And it's a plugin which goes onto WordPress. There's a free and a paid one. I'd recommend the paid version, but you can get away with the free version. And you can literally, it is a drag and drop interface where you can drag in a logo, change margins, colors, fonts, and everything's pre-done for you. So like the testimonial, like this site here was built with Elementor, and it's so easy to use. I'm sure probably that video is from YouTube. You can see there's no YouTube links on there. So it's a really, really great way of being able to sort of construct your site in a way to work. So that's pretty awesome. That's a bit odd as well.
Just to chip in, mate. I'm really sorry. I'm meant to be in a session 5 minutes ago.
No worries. Yeah, no worries.
So are you able for me? I would like to know more about your website and the pay monthly.
Sure.
Jobby. I'm sorry to use the word jobby on you there. But yeah, I would like to know more. So at the moment, obviously, I've built that just to get me started, but I'm equally aware from businesses I've been involved or worked with, I want to make it
as good as it can be.
Streamline it, make sure the efficiency of click-throughs and getting to me is high. It's important.
Yeah, sure.
So I would love to know more, and maybe at some other point, get back on to those other questions that we haven't done.
Well, what I'll do anyway, after you've left the call, I'll carry on. I'll just quickly run through some of the other bits, just to wrap it up, so you can jump back onto it and watch it later on.
All right, fab, mate. You've been
awesome, mate.
Thank you very much. Very interesting, and just thanks for the time to look at it, because all of that is stuff that I hadn't really considered straight off. Some of it might have floated in my brain, but some of it's really useful, and I'll change it straight away probably.
Make sure you watch the remaining bits after, because I'll pick a few points out about the marketing side as well. So I'll quickly go through that now, obviously. But take care, and I'll speak to you soon, mate.
All right, mate. Thank you very much.
Take care, buddy.
Go crazy.
I won't, mate. I won't. So just to finish up then, obviously, it's a little bit strapped for time, but what I wanted to quickly do is some of the bits on SEO. So if search engine optimization or organic SEO is important to you, one of the things you need to be considering is the content and the structure of your page. One of the key structures to one of the keys of ranking in Google is optimization of your title tag, which is this tag here. So farewell video and audio memory tribute. Actually, from doing a bit of searching on a tool called Ahrefs, which allows you to see search volumes, audio tributes and memory tributes only have like a monthly search of 10. So you're going to really, really struggle to actually get new leads from that or get enough traffic to do that. However, I did spot that the funeral tributes key phrase has about 600 UK searches per month. Also, it's a very small keyword difficulty, so it's about an 8, which means that if you generated about 9 to 10 backlinks from different websites, which would be pretty easy to do, you could probably start ranking for a keyword like this within a couple of months. So it's definitely worth having a look at. One of the things I ran the site through as well, just quickly, just to finalize, is a page score tracker for speed. The page scores E and E, so it's loading in about 10 seconds, so it's really, really large. This needs to be brought down. Google ranks websites very much now on speed, so increasing the speed should help your overall Google rankings. One of the things I wanted to touch upon was the heading tags. So heading tags, if you don't know, are really, really important for search engine optimization. This is what's called a H1 heading tag, and it carries as much weight as your title tag. So you want to be making sure it's super optimized for your keywords, maybe about 7 key phrases within the keyword. And no more than that, because otherwise it dilutes it. With H1 tags, Matt Cutts, who works at Google, basically said that you should have 1 H1 tag per page, and this is for the main heading of your page. So what I'd be changing this to is, rather than it being about us, which has no sort of keywords in there, no phrases whatsoever, I'd be instead changing this to something like funeral tributes, you know, farewell videos, and then maybe, you know, farewell video tributes, which is their company name. So this is going to be a much more optimized tag. This is going to be a much more optimized tag for Google rankings than something like about us. One of the other issues I've noticed as well is these are H1 tags as well. So what it's going to be doing is it's going to be diluting the overall authority of those keywords within Google. So what you want to be doing is definitely changing these to H2 or H3 tags, and then putting the key phrase funeral tributes, audio tributes, etc. within the content, so it features actually within the content as well. So that's super important for SEO. That's pretty much it. I mean, what I'd recommend, I know he had some questions about Facebook ads. One of the big things I'd say about Facebook ads is, you know, the targeting is going to be super crucial for this. It's also, the way you reach out with a Facebook ad like this is you can't be salesy, because it's just not going to work. People are going to see it. They're going to be probably offended by it, that you're trying to potentially, you know, sell a service like that. I think it needs to be quite elegant. I think the best way of doing that, the most elegant solution for doing that, is to have customer video testimonials and run those testimonials alongside. Potentially, you know, like I said before, like my sister passed away, we wanted the best tribute for her. You know, this is my story, and then have them explain, you know, how it felt, you know, how it went down in the funeral, and how people thought it was the best thing ever, and do that and run those Facebook ads, because that's what people are going to be, who are considering it. They're going to be in a position where they can relate to those people. That is going to be a much better call to action for a Facebook ad than, oh, we do, you know, if you lost someone, we do farewell tributes. I think it's a little bit, it's bordering on that line with ads that people might not be, you know, might not appreciate that too much. One of the key points as well is that the people, if you do run Facebook ads or you run SEO, you install your Facebook pixel on here, and this would allow you then to retarget customers or visitors who have actually landed on this site, retarget them with ads. So then you can maybe be a little bit more salesy towards the people who have clicked and who are interested, because they've obviously shown that they're interested in the service you're providing. Last but not least, I know we mentioned about Google Analytics. Google Analytics is super simple to set up. Just go to googleanalytics.com, grab the code, drop it on the site, and then you should be able to set up goal tracking quite easily on these get a quote forms, so you can be able to quickly see how many inquiries you're getting per month, which will be able to help you track it. Last but not least, we've got a local SEO guide ebook, which I'd probably recommend everyone go through. It's basically put together by me in a step-by-step format, super simple to use, paint by numbers. So you can basically go through, it explains what local SEO is for business, how Google ranks your website, what local SEO is, what the benefits of Google My Business and generating reviews, website optimization tips, keyword selection, page creation, how to sort your pages out, on-site SEO tips, meta title descriptions, etc., and keywords tags, and then how to build website citations, which are super important for local SEO, and then also sort of a little bit of a final thought on backlinking as well. So hope you really enjoyed this video, Leon. I know obviously you had to shoot off after the half an hour. Wish we'd managed to get through a little bit more, but there is enough there for you to get on with from a conversion point of view. Just be looking at the site and thinking, you know, what would I want to see on a site? And I think if you can address those things, then you'll get a lot of success with it. If you have any questions, please comment. I'll try and help. If you'd like me to do a video like this with you, please comment in the description and I will look and try and get round to it and give you some advice in the key areas you want to go through. All the best. Have a great Friday.